All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. In the last lecture, I began creating version 1 of the C Payroll program. And notice it says 01A because we didn't finish. All right, well, see what I do when I'm not working here. All right, and if I take a look at it right now, again, if I run the program, I'm able to go from here to any of the other forms that are on here. Two things. First of all, I have to add the stuff in here for hourly. I have to add the stuff in here for piece worker. I have to add the stuff in here for commission worker. And I have to add the stuff in there for salaried worker. And I get that. Secondly, as of right now, let's say I've added all that stuff in already. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But with that said, I still am going to need some kind of a calculate button in here, which I don't currently have. Okay, so I will get it, but like I said, I don't have it right now. All right, so with that said, let's go back and let's just take it from the top. In other words, I'm going to go to hourly, which is right here. And I like things to be at least somewhat symmetrical. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to come in, I'm going to add a couple labels, 3 labels in fact. One right here. We will set the auto size to false. Bring that over to, I don't know, about here. That looks pretty good. And down to about here. And let's change the background color and make it the darker form of blue. There we go. Now let's take this and copy it and make 2 more of them. Okay, so what that's going to end up being is this is going to be where I put in the hours worked, the hourly rate, and this will be the gross pay. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense. So let's come in and add now 3 associated text boxes. All right. Again, we're doing the same thing we just did. All right, doesn't look very good right now, but let's make it look a little nicer by coming in here. And I'm going to make these actually a little bit bigger than I usually do when I do this. And that means I'm going to come in and first of all set that to Arial, then come in and set that to bold, and finally set that, let's make it 20. And click OK. There you go. Now it's looking a little more the way I want it to look. It's still not perfect, but it's not too bad either. Okay. All right. So let's see. Like I said, I am going to have to come in here and make this wider, move all these over, and end up putting in there a calculate button. Let's do that right now. Let's bring that over to about here. Let's take all of these that we've got here and move them over. And let's come in and copy a button and paste it in. Now this isn't perfect. Let's move these over a little bit more. So we move that over a little more. There. That isn't too bad right now. Again, is it perfect? Heck no. But it's okay the way it is. Now, I'm going to end up putting exactly where I put all this stuff, because again, like I said, I like a certain degree of symmetry in here, and I like it to look decent, for lack of better words. This button, which is now called button 1, will be BTN calculate. All right, and the text for it will be, we've already got an underscore for commission, so let's use the A. So we'll say C ampersand ALCULATE. So that'll be calculate. All right, and I screwed up because where I've got that in here, that should be C underscore ALCULATE. Calculate. There we go. somehow this got kind of hosed up in here, so let's fix that too. For the text align, let's make that right in the middle. There we go. Okay, so again, it's looking somewhat, at least, the way we want it to look. Let's do this too. Let's move these over. You'll see why in a second. And let's move these. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's move this one over just a little more. And these as well. All right, now let's move these down a little. That looks pretty good. All right, so let's come in. This is going to be our hours worked. So this will be LBL hours worked. That's the name. The text will be hours worked. And we'll put in here 0 to 84 so they know what the number should be. Okay. No problem here with the okay, there's that. We'll straighten everything out in just a minute. And then let's make this be the hourly rate. So it'll be LBL hourly rate. We'll make this hourly rate. And this is 0.00 through 99.99. And of course, we put it under the wrong one. That's nice. All right, so that's got to go here. So let's just put that in right away. That fixes that one. And we got to fix the name too. So this one right here will be, oh, okay, we got LBL hourly right there. So this will be LBL gross pay. Okay. All right. Now, again, it's kind of not that big a thing, but let's do this first. Let's go in and we will set the text align to middle. So that's right there. Looks a little bit better already. This should say gross pay, and it doesn't. All right, so we've got all those. Now what I can do, I don't have to do this, of course, but what I can do here, highlight all these and make them a little bit thinner. So they pretty much will align with the size of the label, of the text boxes, rather. Okay? All right, so let's make this one TXT hours worked. This will be TXT hourly rate. And we're going to do something a little different here. We're going to make this TXT gross pay. But we're going to come in and we're going to set the read-only property on this to true. Now it makes it look like it's gray. All right, but we're not going to be able to change it, but we can change the color. So let's go to the background color on here. And let's make it the same color as the label. Okay. All right, that's not too bad right now. Let's lock our form into place. Okay, so that is. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that, like I said, because I believe in a little bit of symmetry here. So let's do this. So the form size will be 1405 by 600. Okay, and I'm going to do this for all these. So I'm going to do it for the 3 labels. I'm going to do it for the 3 text boxes, and then also for all 6 now of the buttons. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is, rather than have you watch me do that, which I think is kind of a waste, I'm going to do it and then come back. So I'm going to take what I've got so far, and I'm just going to pause for a little bit. All right, I'm back, and let me show you what I've done. And let me just run the program for you. That'd be the easiest way. Now, if you look here, you'll notice that on every form I made wider, first of all. Secondly, I added a new button onto every form. This one I just put help there, which is kind of repetitious when I've got this already, but it brings up a message box. It kind of shows what's going on in here. All right, but if I go to the hourly, I've now added components here, which I guess I'm going to have to center these, but that's no biggie. All right, if I go over to piece worker, same thing. If I go over to commission worker, same thing. And finally, salary. And this is kind of a dummy field. There really isn't anything for the salary. All right, and I can go back to the startup at any time. So let's start by just coming back here and kind of doing what I just mentioned, and that is, let's go ahead and bring up every one of these. Let's center all this. So text align center. So that's the commission one, the hourly, text align center, the piece worker, text align center, and finally, I think we did the salary. I thought we did that one first, but maybe not. All right, so these are all now centered. Okay, now I've not added any of the code yet to actually make these work, because what I'd like to do would be, as much as possible at least, to be able to use kind of the same code stuff that I used for the console version. So let's take a look at our latest console version, which I believe was the 5th iteration pay console right here. Okay, and let's start. Let's bring in all this stuff. So let's bring min hours, max hours, pieces made, etc. Let's bring all that stuff in, because right now I don't believe that any of that exists in our program. So let me copy. And the thing is, I'm not even going to do it that way, because this is the hourly stuff, right? So let's go over to hourly, and let's look at the code. Let's go up to the top here, and under our initialize component, we'll put it right here. Okay, so those are the constants we'll need for hourly worker. Then next, let's come in here and let's find the ones for the piece worker. And again, we'll put it right here. All right, so there's the ones for the piece worker. Next, let's find the ones for the commission worker. And there's those. And just because, again, I'm a little squirrely about this stuff, I should really be lining this stuff up here. So that one's good. So that's commissioned. Let's look at piece worker. Okay. that one's good. Again, let's just do a file save all here. Let's look at hourly. Looks like that's lined up, but these aren't. And that looks pretty good. Finally, let's go over to salaried, which I don't think I've added yet. I have not. So let's find that. Just a couple. And there's that. So now, as far as I know at least, all this stuff is, for lack of better words, it's kind of set up now. Okay. All right. Now, I'm only at 16 minutes here, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop with this lecture, and the reason for that is when I come back, what I want to show you here is I'm going to do these one at a time. So I'm going to close the main form, close the commission form, close the piece worker form, close the salaried form, piece worker, commission, salaried. And I'm going to keep this up because what's in here under hourly, I'm going to see if I can grab all of it. All right, so I'm going to grab everything that's here. All right, so literally, I'm going to grab hourly. Okay, so right now what I have here under the hourly is, when we do this, it's called calculate hourly pay. And I'm going to replace that and with the stuff that I've got in there now. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the piece worker. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the commission worker. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the salaried worker. Now, there are going to be changes that have to be made because there's right line statements that we currently have. Because they're in the console program, I'm going to replace those with message boxes. But we'll see what else we have to replace as well. So I'll be back with that shortly.